This week on The Coach and the Casual, we're going to talk all things UFC 296. Me and the Casual are going to go down, sit front row, watch some fights, get some interviews, go live on the Instagram. So make sure you stay in tune. We're breaking down our picks and our fights from this weekend. Tune in.
So, honestly, I think we should talk about your bad attitude when I walked in the studio today. I feel like, first of all, that kind of energy is not it.
Still so mad about Jordan's loss, dude. So I lost my voice. You can't believe that was a 50-45
One guy
decision.
had 50-45 was BS.
I'm like, dude, you're on the back one whole. He was on the kid's back the whole round.
So the first two I thought were Jordan. So
Yeah.
we're talking about Steelfist. We're talking about Jordan Gonzalez.
One of my 35-pounders lost his title, and he came out fighting like Izzy when he wants to defend his title.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I even thought the first two were his, and I thought the second two weren't his.
Yeah.
So I knew it had to go to the fifth round, but it could have gone either way, that fifth round. But he was being timid. When you were coaching, did you feel like he was being timid?
That's all I was trying to get him to wrestle. That's all I come to saying. Like, what do you need to do? Wrestle. And I think, that's the first time he's fought someone that's so sporadic like that. And so it's a good learning experience.
The guy was good. He was strong.
Yeah, and he got 15 minutes of fighting. Hopefully it lights a fire under his butt.
Every time I watch, he got more than 15 minutes. He got 25 minutes.
No, because it's amateur, so it's threes.
No, he fought.
Three
five
fives.
threes.
Yeah, so it's 15
threes.
minutes total.
Yeah.
Which is hard to get before you go pro.
What I've noticed about all your fighters that have lost, so I've watched him lose, I watched Bryce lose, I watched Ben lose, and I watched, who was the other kid?
Kevin.
No, to Jackson.
Kevin.
Kevin?
Kevin.
Oh, Kevin.
Yeah.
Kevin Guo, right?
Yeah.
Also the first kid who tore his knee, but that doesn't really count. But all four of them, I keep waiting for them to go to the ground. All four of them have lost standing. Is it frustrating for you? Are you telling these guys to get on the ground? Bryce was a different situation. That guy he was fighting was a big time wrestler as well.
I think the dude was hurt. I think Bryce had him hurt, and he just had it. The first half of the fight wasn't very, going his way. But then once I was telling him, move forward, and see Bryce has another coach.
Well, I saw you calling Bryce a lot, like, hey, come forward.
Yeah, and there was another game plan, and then during this fight, I was like, no, we're winning, and it's got to be simple. It was too complicated of the game plan, and I was like, because me and Bryce are friends, and I help him more than one of my young kids that I'm like, do this, and that. You know what I mean?
You're more of a you're co-coaching with him. He's got a plan in his own mind,
and he has another coach and stuff like that and stuff.
But so why, with Kevin, with Jordan, and with Ben, why are these guys not going to the ground when that should be their specialty?
I don't know, man. That's I've been thinking about it a lot, and that's probably why I was a little pissed off today. And seeing your face just made me more mad. I don't know. Every time I lose, I just see you in the crowd smiling. Yeah. You almost my front row because I know you just love it, dude. And I know you love the guys and you want them all to win, but just watching me lose is one of your favorite things.
Yeah, but dude, honestly, Jordan, even though my first day of jiu-jitsu, he hurt me, right?
Beat your ass.
But I was rooting for him. Jordan's a great kid. I really like Jordan. I really like Bryce. It's hard to, what I've noticed, especially as I've been hanging out with more fighters, like when we're hanging out with Perry and all these guys, it's hard to watch these guys who I like fight. I'm like, oh, man, I don't even want to watch them fight because I like them. You know what I mean?
But, once you do a fight and you, I think you should do one.
Nope.
So whenever Derek
Moneybird wants to get an ass
Moneyberg wants
me.
a Foxcatcher versus Foxcatcher kind of mode, we'll get that shit. But after a fight, Jordan was at the after party with us, celebrating, laughing, and he was honestly, the kid was a champion. The way he took a loss was I was really proud of him. I was really pissed when the scorecards, and I was like, Jordan's like, hey man, just gotta work harder next time.
So
coach.
what's your coaching like because even for me, I thought to myself, oh, I gotta tell Ramsey, tell him to take him to the ground. I'm like, well, no, Ramsey knows. I'm not gonna go tell him. But were you telling him, hey, take him to the ground, or what was your coaching like for each of those guys?
So with Thomas, the first
we'll talk
fight
about Thomas in a second. I don't even want to touch
it. That was
Thomas was
nasty,
awesome.
dude.
We'll talk about these two guys, then we'll talk about Thomas.
So
Thomas was awesome.
With Jordan, I was between rounds just trying to keep it simple. I was like, he's sporadic, so we got to get him trapped on the fence.
Yeah.
Cut off the fence. And that was kind of our game plan. You know, I was holding pads a lot with him in the fence and stuff like that. But I think it's a little bit different. Like the way Kawhi was fighting, he jumps in and out. And Jordan's never really gone against that style. And then it was kind of a late switch. We were getting ready for a Muay Thai guy, so then we went against a boxer wrestler. And I think Kawhi's pretty good at wrestling, so that was one reason why he didn't go to the ground. And then when he went, and then he did go to the ground, got on his back, and then didn't secure the position, but he still was on his back for a good minute, and then fell off. And then after that, you would feel like keep going. Same with Bryce. You know, Bryce got him down to the ground, was in a good position. And with Bryce, I was just saying, with Jordan, I was like, move forward and finish with either wrestling if you get him on the fence, or if he's jumping out that head kick, because he kept on landing that head kick.
Yeah.
And I was like, you got to bite down and make it a car crash. When sometimes someone's coming in, you can't always be like trying to keep someone at the end. Sometimes you just got to bite down and throw a car crash. And that's what I was saying with Bryce. And I think that's where you hurt him in one of those times where he just bit down and just threw the hardest elbow he
Bryce,
could.
dude, I'll tell you honestly, like that kid he was fighting, the machine, right?
Yeah.
He was a monster.
I mean, shout out to, I just drew a blank. What's his name?
What's his name?
Cole. Yeah, Cole Faust. That kid will be in the big show. I mean, you'll see him somewhere.
He was an animal, and dude, but what I'm telling you is like,
and you know he's like a top level wrestler too.
Right on paper, dude. I mean, I like Bryce. He's also choked me out as well.
Yeah.
But
he was the dog.
You would think like he was gonna get a good old fashioned passionate ass whipping, but the shots he took from him were one time he came down and he was dodging a punch, hit him square in the head.
Yeah, and
like,
that flying knee that Cole Faust. I mean, Cole looked clean, dude.
Yeah, but
he was
Bryce has a chin like I haven't seen. I mean, he's strong.
And he was just down to fight.
Yeah, he just kept putting his hands up like,
like, let's go. And, you know, like, going into that path for victory for Bryce was a lot more challenging.
That's what he would have to do is just to bang with him. Because,
make it dirty. And that's what I was saying. Like, just walk him down, make it dirty, because the kid's a really good wrestler and a really good striker. So I was like, you're going to be outstruck and out-wrestled, so you can't wrestle him. What we need him to do is just keep pressing and force him to do some bad wrestling shots, and then Bryce can use his jiu-jitsu, because he's a black belt in jiu-jitsu, to capitalize on that.
Well, I mean, the only way that Bryce was going to, I mean, I have to take your word for the wrestling because it never went to the ground.
Yeah. And that kid's a unit, dude.
So
Cole Faust is a unit.
But for Bryce,
we'll have to get him on.
Yeah, there was a couple of times when Bryce hit him that he even looked like he was stumbling a little bit. It looked like I was surprised how much of a problem Bryce was for.
Yeah.
Were you also surprised? I mean, you train with Bryce. He's an animal.
Yeah, I mean, I was honestly surprised. I mean, not to lie, I was really worried for Bryce's
just the hits he was taking.
Health,
You know what I mean?
Well, even then, I mean, I've watched Cole Faust fight before, and he's fought at amateur, and he's deadly at amateur. But at pro, with elbows and knees to the head, I was like, man, he's a scary dude with a little bit more weapons. And he's a big, scary kid. I mean, he's young, and he's thick, and he's explosive. And I think he might have got hurt in there or something, like hurt maybe a hand or a foot or something, because his pace changed.
The kicks were hard too.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I think maybe like broke a foot or something. I don't know. I mean, I don't know the medical examination is, but I'm saying I think he hurt something throwing, you know, and
yeah, those were intense. I was really impressed by Bryce.
Me too.
Because some of those hits they took square in the face, I was like, geez.
And then Cole pulls me aside after the fight in the cage. He goes, I don't know if you remember this. When I was in high school, I've always dreamed of being a fighter. You got off The Ultimate Fighter, and I messaged you, and you were cool. You messaged me back.
It was like you were an asshole to me.
Yeah. I was like, thank God I wasn't. I was like, I don't want to get my ass kicked. He's all scary now. I was like, thank God.
First he beats your fighter, then he head kicks you.
Yeah. Just he comes after me. I'm like, no, man.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, dude. I'm just trying to have a good time.
Why does that guy, I mean, you had even told, because we talked about it before the fights, why does that guy have so much support? Because that guy, I mean, the whole venue was just screaming, machine.
Yeah, he's just got a support, and he's just from Layton. His dad's part of the promotion or something, I think, or helps. And he's just I think he's just a cool kid. You know, he went to Layton High. I think he won a state title for them.
How would he do against me? 5 rounds.
Oh man, you would take him for sure. Yeah, you would get him. No way, he would fucking break.
But
you.
he's short. I mean, how tall is he?
He was like 6 foot, bro.
No, he was 5'6" at the most.
No, because Bryce is like 6'1".
I don't know. We'll have to check on those stats.
Yeah, he was at least 6 foot.
What were they? What was their weight class?
Bro, one of those kicks, you would cry and quit. You wouldn't
I wouldn't cry.
Yeah,
I'd eat it like a mofo. I just keep on coming
you would
forward.
cry.
The thing is,
Look over at me
what I've known
wide-eyed.
for a long time is it's not about how hard you can hit. It's about how hard
Shut
you can
up,
get hit
dude. You
and keep
can't
moving
get
forward.
hard at all. You don't take hits well. What happened when I kicked you the other day at my little daughter's birthday?
Yeah, it hurt because
And
I
you
wasn't
cried,
looking. I
dude.
didn't cry.
You sat in the corner and you're like this, like
No, yeah, right.
so
Yeah.
serious. Face.
But speaking of me crying, how about the fact that you told me to come to Open Mat on Saturday? I drive all the way up to Salt Lake, and you're like, "Oh, sorry, bro, couldn't make it."
Well, that's open mat.
Yeah.
You're there to roll. You're not there
supposed
for
to be
me.
there, so I wouldn't have shown up. And then I went.
What do you
with-
need me there
I
for
went
open
with
mat?
Thomas, and I went with who's the other one? You do his son. You roll with his son,
Matt.
Matt.
Oh yeah.
And either one of those two or Dom, I think I tore my rotator cuff.
Yeah.
So if you were there, you could have said, hey, take it easy.
No
on
way.
him."
I'd be like piping him up, like, you know what he said?
Go
Get him
harder.
harder. No, dude, open roll. You'll learn, man. Open
You know what
rolls.
was interesting is I thought.
Have you ever seen that meme like with what's his name, Will Ferrell, and it's from the Politic movie, and he's like, "Welcome to the fucking
Welcome
show."
show, yeah.
You know that's open mat, bro.
Well,
when you
there
go
was
to
only
open
three of
mat,
us. There was only three of us, so we were just taking turns.
Yeah.
And with Matt and who did I just say it was? Not Thomas. I said Thomas.
yeah, Thomas,
But it was
Greg.
not- Greg. Yeah, I meant Greg. It was Matt and Greg. And with Greg, I like going because I'm not going to tap him, but I can kind of not get tapped. Matt, I thought I was like, oh, I'm doing real good because he didn't tap me, and so he's a purple belt, right?
Yeah.
I was talking shit. I was like, oh, well, he didn't tap me, so I'm good. And Dom was like, he's going easy on it. I'm like, no, he's not. He tried. I said, hey, Greg, did you try? Or Greg, I mean, Matt, did you try? And he was like, yeah, I was trying. And Dom kept talking crap. I was like, all right, I'll tell you what, I'll give you 1 minute. Let's see if you can tap me. And he goes, are you sure? And I was like, yeah. And so then immediately, we start in my guard. He pulls out, flips me around, and ankle hooks me. I'm like, oh! Immediately.
Yeah, I didn't even take a
It's so
minute.
demoralizing that I think I'm getting better. And it's just some dude.
He
taking
was
it-
just playing with you.
just relaxing.
He was just there with his son, having
Just hanging out.
Yeah.
It's so demoralizing.
You know, it's funny. He could be like when I'm having a conversation, rolling with you, and I'm like,
But he just
"Dog."
tapped you the other day, right?
He did, yeah, he did catch me. Matt's,
And he was telling me.
got on my back.
He said he's opening his own gym now that he tapped.
Yeah.
It's Ramsey soft.
I'm soft. I am going soft. I don't fucking fight chokes, man, anymore. This neck, someone gets a hold of
Dom
it.
got so mad because we were in the cage because he was bullying me. He was like, "Oh, you forced me in," and then we were done, and then he jumped on my back, and he was choking me. And then as he started to go, I would just tap, and then he was like, "No, you try and fight it." And I was like, "I am fighting. Watch, tap tap." And then he was like, "No, you have to fight." I was like, "Yeah, this gets me out immediately. Tap
Nah,
tap."
bro, I tap immediately. Someone gets a hold of my neck, dude, and they want
I
blood.
told him, listen, I have Bushido now. You have Bushido.
Everybody has
So you have
sensei
to tap.
blood. Like, they want me so
Yeah.
bad, you know? Speaking of sensei blood, look at this shirt.
What is this?
Who is that, dude?
I have no.
It was some company called Riven MMA. Some old school. This is one of the goats from Utah.
I have no idea. Who is it?
You have no idea?
Is it Court?
Is it Court?
I don't know.
Okay, can we not do a 10-minute segment on this? You just tell us,
You
guess
know,
who?
I won't
Does his
say
name
it,
start
yeah.
with an A?
Yeah, I'm not going to actually say it.
Is it you?
What? We'll never find out.
Oh my gosh.
All right,
Okay.
let's get to. Oh, and speaking of never finding out, you'll never find out how bad you are at striking until you go to another gym. And JT was like, "You're done
Oh,
sparring."
before JT, let's talk Thomas.
Oh,
Thomas was I've never seen. Is there a lot of events like that where they have mixed, where they have MMA as well as like just kickboxing and stuff?
yeah, especially now in Utah because like they used to do it separate. California separates it a lot, which kind of sucks because like if you go to a traditional Muay Thai fight or like kickboxing, sometimes they're like 7 hours long because everyone has to come out and do their little dance thing, you know?
Yeah.
I like that when they do it the MMA style, like put them out. If you weren't a casual fan and you watched ONE FC, ONE FC has Muay Thai with small gloves in the cage. Most violent sport there is, I think. I think it's more violent than bare knuckle.
Difference between Muay Thai and kickboxing is just clinching.
and elbows and knees.
Yeah.
So Thomas fought Muay Thai, so he could clinch, elbow, knee, head kick, and sweep. Yeah. Kickboxing, you can only strike where your pads are, like kicking, punching, and like push kicks.
And you have to wear pads or those?
In amateur, you do, and then in Muay Thai, you get to decide. So like, it's kind of funny because it's always like a dick measuring contest. Like, well, I ain't gonna wear shin pads on me either. So then like, and you don't want to be the one like, no, I want to wear shin pads.
I would take shin pads on.
Yeah.
So could one guy have shin pads and one guy doesn't?
No, whatever the lesser decides is the rule.
Yeah.
So if you go, I want shin pads, you both have to wear shin pads. You want to say no head kicks, and they can do no head kicks.
Oh, you can say no head kicks?
Yeah. I think you say no elbows. So it becomes like a kickboxing.
Yeah.
With clinching. And that's the difference. You can't clinch in kickboxing.
That's what they call it, a Thai clinch.
Yeah, but hey, Kwame, shout out to him, one of the OG Muay Thai guys of Utah. He was pretty impressed with our Muay Thai fighter, Thomas, because he's like, man, you normally just have wrestlers, like we are talking about earlier, why you're surprised no one's using wrestling, because our gym's really wrestling heavy. And then Thomas coming out doing Muay Thai, looking clean. Kind of showed that the Pits got a little bit of everything.
Well, yeah, dude. I mean, that fight, the whole time, the first round, they both blew their load. They were tired as hell.
Yeah, and then Thomas, after he dropped him, was like, fuck off.
Yeah, well, there was, I think he actually kicked him down 5 seconds before the clacker.
Yeah.
But it's like time's coming down, it's almost down. And then Thomas, last second, head kicks him, guy goes down, and we all go nuts.
Bro, that was a Mortal Kombat finish. The guy was standing and he went out and he was looking this way, and you see his eyes are open and his soul just goes back, and he does like a shimmy as he goes down, and then you see his soul kind of coming back in, and he's like eyes open, like, what's going on?
He was, because they weren't even going to call it, because it was the end of the last round.
Yeah.
And I was surprised they called it, but he was just gone, or what?
Yeah, oh, bro, yeah. And then he couldn't even recover for the 10-second. And it was funny because Thomas was listening good.
Yeah.
Like when I was calling things out, like he was clinching, throwing those elbows in, keeping his hands up, and every time he'd call something out. And it's kind of interesting. And then later that night, Dom had one of his other fighters, a younger kid.
Carvajal, right?
No, that's Talon.
Oh, yeah. What was this kid's name?
I forget his name.
Pull up that card.
Young kid with the...
Carrillo.
Yeah, Carrillo, something like that.
Yeah.
And then he got that cool triangle finish. That was pretty nasty.
Well, no. He had the triangle that didn't... That fell apart on him. Because
and then he
got picked up
it.
And he got dropped.
Slammed, yeah. And which is kind of funny because we've been talking about that. Remember the Darush fight? He got slammed on his head and everyone's like, jiu-jitsu doesn't work. But his kid did a good job. He let go of the triangle, so he didn't get slammed, got back into it, and then finished the second one.
That kid had good gas tank too. He didn't let off the gas the entire time.
Yeah, he was a scrappy little dude.
Yeah.
I kind of was fun to watch. Honestly, I kind of like Steelfist because low key Fight Club, right? Because you got the people above that are above you.
Shouting down.
Yeah, shouting down, drinking. And then you got the people here. Then you got the general mission on the outside. So it's kind of like this. And then everyone's families are kind of intermixed. So you're screaming and their families.
Well, that's how it was a fierce fight. And that one fierce fight with Ben, two of the dads almost got into it.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, dude, this is wild.
But when you're at the Maverick, it's almost so big, right?
Yeah.
And then it kind of gets...
But I like that venue last night. Where were we at? Or 2 nights ago?
Union Event Center.
Union Event Center.
I really like it too. I think it's fun, good food.
And I liked how the cage wasn't that high. That was a good event. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's honestly, I think it's fun. It's just a fun time. And our wives went, I think they had fun. And, and you got to bet some. You stole some money from Shane.
Shane, my God.
Yeah.
So me and him were going back and forth because basically I get to pick a fight and then he gets to pick a fight. And we ended up even going into because we won't bet against the pit fights.
Yeah.
We won't bet them. So we had the last fight and I said, all right, $300 on whoever it was. And then I actually left to go take a dump. And so I came back and the guy was knocked out. My fighter knocked the other guy out and I just came back to $300. Shane was like, oh, you piece of shit.
And his shit. And his wife was like, fuck you.
I thought you said you've never taken a shit outside your house.
Dude, I'll tell you what, that's how you know it was bad. And that's why I actually really like that event space because that venue, good toilets, dude.
Yeah, honestly, I was going to say that. I'm like,
good toilet.
if the casual could take a shit there,
Dude, I'll tell you
venue,
what,
right?
5 stars.
Clean. Yeah, if you're able to take a shit. I still haven't got you to shit at the pit. You know?
And I will never.
Maybe like
one thing I'll tell you require is a hook on the door so I can hang my pants up.
Yeah, there is a hook in there.
In the pit?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I'll check it out.
Yeah. Maybe next time we'll get you comfortable.
Okay.
How was JT's gym? You got to go travel.
Yeah.
So after having Mike Perry here, we've been talking to JT. Cool guy.
Very cool.
Great coach. You finally got to train with another coach too.
I had to fly out to Orlando for one of my sales offices, and Mike Perry's from there, and his boxing coach is named JT, and he's got a gym called Technique Boxing, and I went in there and it was cool. It was cool to see a real gym, a real fighting gym, and also one where I could respect the owner of it. And so, just kidding, but. Yeah, we get in there, and he's got one of his young kids in there who's boxing, hitting stuff. And at first, he's like, all right, here, he gives me a jump rope. I'm like, oh, what do you want me to do? He's like, warm up. I'm like, okay. And I warmed up for about 30 seconds. And I was like, all right. And he's like, yeah, I knew you were going to be done with that quick. And then we put on my gloves. I'm like, hey, tell your guy I'll spar him. And he goes, we'll see. We go in, and we're doing something for like 5 minutes. He's like, you're not sparring. I'm like, what do you mean? He was like, your basics are just horrible. I'm not going to let you spar with anybody. You get your ass whipped. I'm like, I'm okay with getting my ass whipped. And he's like, do you even have a mouthpiece? I was like, no, I don't need one. He's like, what's the matter with you? And so we spent the rest of the time doing technique. It was really cool to do basics and things because most of the time you just whip my ass. But it's hard for me.
You just talk shit, so then I'm like, all right, fuck this.
JT doesn't know me enough to hurt me.
Yeah, he doesn't know you. Yeah.
He thinks I'm just somebody honestly trying to learn the game.
Yeah. I'm like, no, you're not here to learn shit. I'm here to hurt you.
Yeah, but it was
you know, I have other people that learn a lot from me, but for you, every time you come in, I've been drinking Red Bulls now, and I was like,
just hate fueled.
Yeah. I just have a picture of you at home.
It was cool to have a coach that cared about me.
But like, were you like nervous to walk into the new gym? Was it
no? I wasn't
just because you know JT.
Well, not only that, but because I'm fairly confident in most situations that I could whip ass. So
I wish he just let you like was a 13-year-old boy.
No, he was like 16. He was a tall kid.
I wish he just let that 16-year-old.
I would have laid him out.
JT, do you hear this, bro? Like that's what now he's gonna watch this next time you come in. He's like, all right, you're sparring.
I think he was trying to be nice to you too. I was like, oh, Ramsey just has me sparring. I was like, oh well, maybe don't do that right now.
You haven't broken him yet. That's why you break someone, dude.
Cool. All right. Well, let's get into UFC fights. We got 296 coming up, so we're going down to 296. We're going down the Friday before.
Yeah, we got a Motel 6, sharing a room.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, me and Kyle.
We got the thing is, being such a degenerate gambler, almost every casino in Vegas is really happy to comp me. They're like, please come stay here.
Yeah.
And so we got some big.
I feel that's how it is out the Wind River casinos. You know, for me on the reservation.
Yeah.
Oh, Mr. Nijum, welcome back.
Right this way, sir.
Yeah.
Your table. But yeah, we're sitting at the Encore. We're sitting at a mobile podcast studio. We got a couple guys booked and a couple more that we're working on. Who do we have booked for the podcast?
So far we got Bobby Green.
Bobby
the
Green.
King. He's coming off that loss, but you know, he said that was controversial. So I'm kind of excited to sit down and, you know, get his perspective. Yeah. Kind of think how you call that perspective controversial, but
when you lost.
But we'll see. You know,
he's like Chael Sonnen. He's like, I thought if I tap, it's just that one round.
Yeah. I've been there. I think all of my losses are controversial too. Whether I'm out or not, I'm like, let me die.
And then we got Chris or no?
Yeah, Chris Curtis. He's always fun to come talk to. And you know, it's gonna be interesting talking to Chris. Is remember when we were talking about Fierce and an African American descended fighter getting called racial slurs here in Utah? It's Chris. So full circle. We get to talk to him. What was it like fighting in Utah? I'd be like, man, fuck you guys.
Terrible. Okay, let's talk some of these fights coming up though.
And then Ali's we might get a few of his guys. He's gonna line up some guys for us.
Those guys lined up. Okay, the card starts with. We don't need to go all the way into the prelims. Let's start with Cody.
Yeah, Cody Garbrandt. I mean, Cody's on a couple fight win streak, Brian Keller is on a, I don't know, like I think maybe he won, but he's still kind of got a. They're both chinny.
Well, that's the
You
thing
know
is
what I
that
mean?
Cody.
Yeah, he's on 2 losses, and Cody's coming off that decision win, right?
And the fight before that was that last second knockout or no?
That was like 5 fights ago.
That was 5 fights
Jeez,
ago. Yeah.
Cody fights so much, huh?
No, Cody is active. Yeah.
But the thing is, what sucks is that he was a main card. He was fighting for the main event a couple of times, and now he's undercard. Watching guys like that, is it tough to watch? Is it time for Cody to hang it up or what?
I think it's time for an 18-month break.
How old is Cody? What do you got?
32.
32?
That's what I'm
That's
saying. He's
young.
young, bro. He takes maybe a year off plus, doesn't get hit one
But he
time.
can't be making much money. He's got to be active to make it. Huh?
Yeah, that's the problem. But I think if you give Cody, right?
I was gonna say I think he'd do great in BKFC after
After
UFC.
his chin, though, the problem.
He's been
That's
knocked
the
out.
problem.
He's been knocked out.
That's why I'm
nasty
like,
times.
I wonder, like, would you see what would happen if he just took some real time off from sparring?
Did you ever get chinny? I mean, you can't do anything to strengthen your chin.
You know, I've been knocked out a couple times, and I thought I was chinny, but then I got been hit even harder, and it was just like a lot of the knockouts were off of bad weight cuts, and then the one of them, Tony Ferguson, was, I mean, that's just Tony.
Yeah. Dude, Cody, I grew up watching. He was on The Ultimate Fighter with you, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was one of the opposite coaches, and me and him would always get into beef and stuff like that, and that was kind of the demise of Cody. So I'm sorry for talking shit to you that one time. I think
He broke your spirit.
I think I broke him. I'm not even joking, bro. Right?
You did
Ask
not
Stover.
break your spirit.
Ask Stover. Since that day, he's not really.
Oh, yeah. It
working.
was Ramsey that broke his spirit.
I really got under
It's
his
probably
skin.
that whole 3-month period leading
Yeah.
up to the fight. You just broke his.
Bro, I got
spirit.
under his skin.
You're
He
the
was
reason
too-
he lost to TJ.
Yeah, and I'm sorry. After learning about, what a snake TJ ended up being, I'm like, I wish Cody was the champ,
He's a lot smaller than you, isn't he? He's a small guy.
Yeah, he's small, and I just had fun. It was like fun to
What
talk.
happened? I don't even know what happened here.
Oh, like we were doing this game, and it was like for money, and it was TJ versus Cody, like standing on a
the water.
balance beam playing tether, and Cody was dominating
Right.
TJ,
Yes.
and then all of Cody's team was like talking shit to TJ, and our team was all like we didn't really care, and we're like sitting there. Maybe I had a couple edibles in me and a couple drinks, and so I was kind of. And then the beers start kicking in. You know what happens when I drink.
Yeah, you're a dick.
Yeah, I get a little mean. I have like this bitch side that comes out.
Yeah.
My friends call her Tatiana.
Yeah, you're-
when I get drunk. So Tatiana came out and laid her claws into Cody, and I started just like talking shit to him, and he was from like a 7-point lead.
TJ, you got him shook. Look at him. He's shook.
For some reason, Cody got offended by all these insults. None of them truly made sense, but they were working.
Hey, Uncle Ray, you're right. Can't do now. Oh, he's on the side. Uncle what? Uncle Uriah. He ain't got to do now. Beat your ass. Oh yeah, I'm scared. Bro, you little punk ass. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. He's shook, baby. He's shook. There you go. Let's go.
And he could not like get me out of his head. He was like, fuck you, Ramsey. Fuck you. And then he like loses the game. Cause like at first I didn't give a shit. I was sitting there because Cody and TJ were playing and winner gets 10 G's. And I'm like, I don't care. That's
That's
nothing
somebody
to
else getting money. Who cares?
Yeah, who cares? And then Dana goes, and the winning team, because our team didn't give a shit and his team did. And the winning team gets $1,500 each. Yeah. I was like, all right, I'll get in it for $1,500 and started just talking shit to Cody. And it was just,
I thought you were gonna hit your nuts on that one.
it was a rough one, man. I just got under his skin and then he just could not stop yelling at me. And then I was just like,
He's shook, baby.
I got this, staying focused, so I can go smack Ramsey in his mouth and, go celebrate with my team.
whiff, and he was like, fuck you, man. He was like turning red, and he ends up losing the game and jumps over and swims over and gets in my face like he's gonna fight me. And I was like, bro, I mean,
What do you want from me?
yeah, like you're small, dude. Come on. I'm like, I'm sorry.
You know, I think TJ owes me a big portion of that 10 G's.
I know. I was just playing the game. Oh, yeah. Hey, no, in our head. I know. It's always. Dan, Maddie was doing the same thing. We got this. Later.
Do you? What was it like under TJ? Was TJ cool or was he a dick?
I mean, he is what he is, you know.
Did you learn anything from him?
Oh, I learned a lot from TJ. TJ's a really good coach, and he's got his whole style, and he brought in really good coaches.
Is he high IQ or what makes
No,
him a great-
TJ's high IQ for sure. But like to me though, he's like a little bit too into his own style and himself, and that's why he got knocked out because he moves too much.
Well, they
You know
talk
what I mean?
about. I mean, it's one of the worst things you can be is a dick in practice because they say he's the worst.
You know,
in
he's
practice.
paralyzed a person.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, or something like that
In practice?
in practice.
How? He hit him in the back of the head or what?
Or slammed him, and then he ended Chris Holdward's.
I know about that one.
Yeah.
'Cause they call him Killishaw and they call him.
Yeah.
They had another nickname for him.
But here's the thing. That's how I remember we would wrestle against his school in college. That's how he was in college. He was just a mean son of a bitch, dude.
He's out of Denver
He's just a mean guy. No, he was out of California.
at that time.
Yeah, well, he was from California.
But he switched to Denver with Ludwig.
Yeah, and then like everyone was complaining on the show, like because me and Uriah are pretty good friends.
Was that the season that Connor came out?
No, that was another season.
Yeah.
Before
That
that,
was when
Connor
Connor
called
was
him.
coaching.
Yeah, and he called him the snake, and he's like,
That's when Cody was like, "Don't you say that!"
yeah, he's like defending him, and then like flashed to my season. But you know what's funny? Everyone's like, what was it like? Because they just kept on like grabbing each other and fighting, and everyone thinks like I attacked Cody at one point, and so everyone on their team wanted to fight me because they were fighting, and I just was separating them, and everyone thought I was like getting involved because every time they fight, we'd have to break. And then they break us apart, and the producers are like, we need on-the-fly interview, OTFs for everybody, on-the-fly interviews. So that is, I don't know, you know about production, a three-hour process. Getting an OT, you know what I mean? Like, think about that from a production standpoint. As soon as they fight, they're like, well, we need everybody's.
In like the
Opinions.
confessional.
No, but the OTF is not in the confessional. They have to set up the on-the-fly in whatever room that it happened because they want the same backdrop of the room, making it look like the fight just happened, you know? So there'd be a 3-hour ordeal. And then I was like waiting to weigh in, and this happens. I'm trying to, don't fight.
Yeah.
Don't fight. Come
I
on.
want his way.
Break it up. You know, I want to weigh in and fucking drink some water and eat, you know? And so it was kind of funny at first, but then after the 3 to 4 hour of OTFs a time, we'd be like, oh, God damn it, here they go. And then we're like, everybody don't say anything. Just say it was.
Just be nice with
Yeah.
Okay.
No, like on the OTFs, we're like, everyone agree to not say any OTFs. And the producer's like, all right, we'll only do 3 if you promise to give us interviews.
Something good. Okay, so let's give
Sorry
us.
if I'm ruining how the sausage is made for how people are at home.
Okay, what are the odds on this one? And let's pick them. I want to take Cody.
Really?
But if Cody's your boy, I'll let you take him.
Yeah, I mean, Cody's my boy. He's the favorite.
Minus
I just think
210
he's just
plus
younger, you know what
175.
I mean? Dude's 37 and Brian Keller's journey too. So Cody's faster. I just think he'll hit
I'll
the
take
chin
it.
first.
I'll take him for $100.
All right, that's not bad.
Okay, bet. Next.
Do you want to do the girl fight or just go straight to Bryce Mitchell?
Never heard of her. Bryce Mitchell. Bryce Mitchell.
I can't wait till we get a girl on here that kicks your ass, and then you'll be like, yeah, let's do the girl fight.
Bryce Mitchell, I confused him with that other. Who's that really good wrestler?
Bryce Mitchell.
No, but the other one who's like the really good wrestler, but not the religious guy. The other one.
Ortega?
No. Brian? No.
Jiu-jitsu.
No. This guy's a wrestler. He talks about how he went into a jiu-jitsu room early on.
Brian Kellen, the Canadian.
Is it
Kellen.
Is it Bryce Mitchell? This phenom who's coming up
He's
fast?
got the twister, like he's done the twist like 3 times.
But there's two white guys, Bryce Mitchell, and then there's some other guy who's like a hardcore Jesus freak.
That's Bryce Mitchell.
Who's the other white guy then?
This guy was on Theo. He's from Arkansas.
Yeah, and he's got the southern accent.
He choked out the deer.
Yeah, this is him.
I thought there's another guy who's more grungy looking who like he said like the Bible quote on
That's Bryce.
on Joe
Yeah,
Rogan.
yeah, that's Bryce.
Okay, this guy.
Yeah, no, Bryce is fucking awesome, bro. Like, he makes me want to be Christian, you know? He's like, Allah Akbar, Jesus,
Okay,
you know?
we're gonna cut that out. So all these still wants to come on our
maybe
podcast.
don't say that. But he's like so funny, and I mean, I don't think he's trying to be funny,
But he's an incredible wrestler, huh?
and you know what's wild is, have you ever seen his workout videos? He works out in like homemade wood in a barn. He lives out in Arkansas.
Yeah.
Doesn't have that much training partners, which is normally a downfall. But I think because his style is so unique, it kind of is his advantage. Because you're not like the way he scrambles is just different than everyone else.
145's got to be a hard weight for 5'10" to make, huh?
Yeah, but Josh Emmett cuts more weight, if anything. He's short, but he's a tank, dude. And I mean, no offense to Josh, but his style is ugly. I hate watching Josh fight. You know what I mean? Like, he's a grinder. He does win. Tough as nails. Shout out to Josh. You might win this fight off of pure grit, but Bryce is the better fighter.
Okay. So obviously you get to pick the last one, so I'm taking Bryce. That's obvious.
All right, I'll take Josh on this
We
one.
can just so for these ones we don't even need to take odds. I'll take Bryce straight up. You
Yeah.
take Cody straight up.
And you know, and here's the thing. We're going to be in Vegas, so I think we might
just go drop real bets.
Yeah, let's go drop real bets.
Okay.
Let's just break it down.
Who's this Wonder Boy?
Onto the main card. Ian
Main
Gary.
card, bro. Starting off with Ian Gary, Vincent Lique.
Vicente Luque.
Vincente Luque.
Yeah. The thing is, I'm taking anybody who doesn't let somebody else bang his wife.
Yeah, really?
For sure.
Bro, I mean, minus that, look at the odds. Negative 400 because, I mean, look at their age difference. 32, 26. Maybe
Oh,
if
you're
this
saying-
fight happened like 8 years ago, it would be different, but
Gary's,
Well, you're saying Gary's the favorite.
Gary's a killer. Yeah.
Gary's
Yeah,
a killer.
but the thing is, Vicente doesn't let dudes bang his wife.
That you know of?
So I'm.
We don't know. I don't know if he does it.
We'll have to get him on and ask him.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll take Vicente on this without even. I actually don't even know who Vicente Luque is.
I can't wait until
look at that.
We're going to get a
that-
cock to beat your ass, dude.
We just saw that picture of Ian Gary with the largest herpes stain.
Oh,
on
yeah, I sent
his
it
lip
to
in
you.
human
Yeah.
history.
Yeah, that's pretty rough. I mean, like, did you hear, though, that his wife and kids are, like, scared to come to America?
Who, Vicente's?
No, Ian. Oh.
Oh, gosh,
Ian's.
that picture.
So that's, like, kind of like where it becomes the issue with,
Where's
like,
he from? He's Australian?
England.
Irish.
England.
Or he's Irish, but he lives in England.
Yeah.
But, like, now he feels unsafe. So what if that affects his fighting? You know, and that kind of sucks because
I've honestly, before all this stuff, I'd never even heard about him before. What's his style? He's a grappler or
no, he's a beautiful striker. He's probably one of the best strikers at welterweight right now. His downfall would be, I would say, his grappling. You know, he can get wrestle fucked pretty easily, but he's pretty good at like keeping his distance. And he's like one of those undefeated. He's 11-0. Him, Shavkat.
Has he just before this? Has he just never had any like controversy or anything? Because I've never heard of him before.
No, he tries to have controversy is the problem. He's always on the stage like talking shit, and it's just so cringy that people don't like it. It's not very natural. And then the cuck thing, the real thing of his life, is what blew him up to being a star. I mean, I'm sure his wife's book is selling through the roof, and it's like, dude, people get all butthurt and dude, whatever.
Here's your other problem: is he just got switched over to vegan. He hasn't been doing it his whole life, so that's going to give him trouble, don't you think?
Yeah, I just don't think. I mean, Luque really has a path to victory. He's like, yeah, maybe take him down and wrestle him, but realistically, I mean, Luque's been a little chinny, he's a little old. Ian's gonna touch him, like it's gonna happen. Ian's
6'3",
clean, dude.
he's got 4 inches.
Yeah, bro. And like everyone's been talking because Ian got knocked down in practice by, I guess, Shavkat and Leon. And everyone's like, oh, well, he got knocked down in practice. Bro, he's
What's
probably
that-
like, if you're knocking someone out in practice, that's a dick move, first off. Going too hard, and it's practice. It doesn't
Well, I've
matter.
heard that like guys getting knocked out in practice. I don't do much sparring. I only do it with you, who wouldn't do that to me. Are people sparring hard enough to be able to knock people out in practice?
Bro, I've almost lost an eye when I was at Extreme because people like a toenail got me.
Gross.
Yeah, and it was like swollen shut, and I couldn't open.
Well, so let's say you're when you have sparring class at your gym, if you see people going too hard, do you break it up or do you let them work or what?
Dude, I try to break it up. I mean, I do have a night where I'm not there, but with my pros, I'm like, what's the point of getting these wars out? Like that kind of, for me as a fans coach and, you know, someone that loves the sport and wants to see it move forward, whether you like Ian Gary or not, he's good for the sport, and he just took years off his fight life, getting knocked out. You know what I mean?
And not even getting paid to do it.
Not even getting paid, dude. And that's what I'm saying. Like, it's so dumb. And these coaches that, to me, if you're a coach that's just like, go and spar, it's your lack of ability as a coach to be like, these are the drills we need to be doing. This is what you need to be practicing. And it's sometimes boring drilling.
Yeah.
But like, once again, I use this analogy all the time. You go to a football practice, they're not on like Monday, like, hey, put on your pads, let's murder each other for Sunday, you know. They don't even have pads on.
Doing plays, yeah.
They don't even sprint.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They walk through it because they don't want to tear a muscle.
So those guys are his team, because it's even worse if they're your teammates, right?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Like,
how much camaraderie is there? Because some gyms, teammates won't fight each other.
Yeah.
For the championship.
Sterling and Marab.
Yeah, but how much camaraderie is there in a gym? Like you came out of where'd you come out of?
I was at the pit elevated, you know, and that one was really close because we only had like 6 or 7 dudes in the UFC, all pretty much different weights. So there was really no probability of us fighting each other. And we kind of all built the gym together. So the camaraderie was like really close and we were good friends. But I mean, at the end of the day, dude, it's like you're a bunch of wolves.
Yeah. And it's
like you go down to Vegas, everyone's a wolf trying to get theirs. And if there's a camera on them, they're like, I'm not losing in front of a camera. And you got to be careful, man. Like you only have so many of those wars and people want to get them out in the gym. Why? Save it for the money. Get paid to do it.
Which of your teammates from the pit elevated? I mean, that's where Glover came out of, right?
No, Glover's from the OG pit.
Okay.
Ours was out here in Salt Lake.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anybody make it big, or were you the biggest name?
Me, Court. There's a kid named Steve Seiler, who was a 45-pounder, who was also on The Ultimate Fighter. Jonathan Brookins was there for a little bit, who's a pretty well-known fighter. Did pretty well.
Who was the coach?
On what?
From the pit.
Oh, his name was, well, we had a couple of different coaches. And at one of the times it was Jason Merlick, but Jason was new to coaching. And so that's why we became a pit, so we can piggyback off of John Hackelman.
Yeah. Okay, who we got next?
But I mean, picking anyone but Ian Gary is rough. That's a bad choice.
I'm happy to pick Vicente.
Yeah, you're back. All right.
$100.
Dude, let's triple. I need to
I'm not gonna triple it.
I need to make some money back.
Yeah,
It's Christmas, bro.
Yeah, get out of here.
It's Christmas.
Who's this?
Tony Ferguson and Patty.
Ugh. They didn't even put Patty's picture up.
I wish Tony would just retire, right?
Patty hasn't fought in like 2 years, huh?
It's been a minute because he got that whatever injury, right?
Yeah.
Patty hasn't fought in a long time, but I think Tony's just done.
Been 1 year.
Oh, and he won that bull crap decision against Jared Gordon.
Yes.
But
you know what? Here's the thing. Tony is a fucking dark horse.
No.
You know what I mean?
I don't think he's still got it in him. Patty's been.
No, he doesn't have it in him at all.
He's had a year rested.
Yeah.
Plus, I mean, that was.
But Patty's never fought anyone like that. All of Patty's fights, like look at his fights, go to Patty's. All of them are quitters. So he's never fought a non-quitter. You know what I mean? Who doesn't get tired. Like the last fight, or Gordon. Gordon's not a quitter. No, don't get mad, Jared Gordon. You're not a quitter. But Jared Gordon arguably won that fight. That was kind of a really bad decision. Levitt, he kind of just quit. Vargas just kind of quit. And then those other guys, we don't even know who they are.
Yeah, I think too is that Patty's still a little shook by Ariel. Ariel Helwani, he put him in his place.
About what?
Don't you remember they got into that big fight where he talked shit about him and Dana or something, and then Patty. That was kind of the end of the hype train because Patty was so hyped
Yeah, I mean, I bet they'll get the hype. I mean, that's probably why they have him against Tony, just to give him a win and be like, oh, he's beat a former champ, Tony, and now they can.
Patty was coming up the same way that who's that one guy that other Scouser that's broke now? He was going to fight in BKFC.
Darren Till.
Darren
Oh
Till.
yeah, Darren Till.
They keep trying to get these Scousers.
Do you think he's like equivalent to Darren Till?
No, I mean Patty was exciting. I think his big thing too is like how fat he gets in between camps and everything. That can't be good for him.
Yeah, no way.
His weight cuts are terrible for
Yeah,
him.
and it's like he's trying to play it and good gimmick, but now you're in the
he
show.
was tied together with that other English chick. What was her name? Remember he was
the
coming,
Irish girl.
Yeah, he was coming up with her.
Yeah, she's
Who's that?
I don't know.
Megan something, I think.
Yeah, and she's the one that she's lost and kind of won a little bit. And,
Yeah.
But like the thing about this fight is Patty can grapple, and that's where the big difference is. The most of these English people is they can't grapple, while Patty does have some grappling. So it's gonna be interesting, and like I don't think he's gonna want to get hit by Tony, and I think he's just gonna rush in and try to hold Tony, and I just don't think Tony has that.
Well, it's funny. Tony's prepared to go 10 rounds on this thing.
Problem is, it's not long enough.
Goggins.
Yeah, if anything, he's like gotta like. We already talked about it, but like he doesn't
gotta
need
push pace,
cardio.
yeah.
He needs explosiveness. He needs to be hitting mitts. He needs he needs to just get out there and go, man. Not like I mean, cool. I would do it just for the.
What do you think Goggins was doing like while Tony was having one of his mental breaks?
Yeah.
Oh man, this guy's crazy.
Yeah. I think Goggins learned. He's probably like running with him, and Tony's like, "Let's do another 1,000 miles," and he's like, "Shit, I'm gonna go." I've seen all those memes about it, like, the Tony Ferguson memes. It's like the old Chuck Norris ones, and people are all making it like David Goggins. There's the train Tony and Tony.
Gets crazy. All right, next one.
Honestly, I'm the most excited about this Shavkat Wonder Boy fight because this is wild.
He's the one who had beef with Bobby, right? No, who?
No, that was Armin that just knocked out
Benil
Bobby.
Benelli.
Yeah, Benil.
Yeah.
Okay. Is Shavkat supposed to be this wonder or something?
Shavkat was supposed to fight Gastelum a couple months ago, but then Kelvin cut his eye, so he pulled out. But
Then
Shavkat's
Gastelum fought again.
yeah,
and won.
he just fought, didn't he? Or,
Yeah, and then he won, right?
Okay, but
I thought he lost.
Oh, maybe. Oh, he lost the decision.
Yeah.
Is Shavkat supposed to be the truth or what?
Dude, I mean, Shavkat's clean. Look at his record. This is what the difference between like a Patty and Shavkat. Look at he's only fought dark horses. Neil, Magny, Harris, all of those guys are nasty. Oliveira.
So dark that I've never heard of them. Yes.
You've never heard of Geoff Neal?
No.
Geoff?
Jeff?
Yeah, you have. Like, look at him.
Is his name Jeff?
No, it's like Geoff.
Yeah, it's Jeff, dude. Yeah. Do you
And then
think
Neil Magny's a dark horse.
Do you think Wonder Boy he's kind of on the way out? They're
Bro.
using him as a stepping stone.
Yeah, this is
How old
like.
is he?
Check it out. How old is he?
40.
40,
40,
man. And he's
damn.
sub 30, 29-year-old. I mean, that's scary, dude.
40 years old is
The only thing that Wonder Boy has going for him, Shavkat has tall man defense, meaning like he uses his length and he has a hard time against other tall guys. And like Wonder Boy might catch him with some weird spinning shit, but he's not gonna knock him out. Shavkat's got the jaw, like granite, dude. I mean, I think this is because Wonder Boy did not fight here in Salt Lake. They're like
punishing him.
Yeah, seriously.
Dana's throwing him to the wolves.
Yeah, literally, that's his nickname, the Wolf. Or no, it's what's his
The
nickname?
wolf is
Yeah,
Hamza.
the hunter.
Nomad.
What?
Nomad.
The nomad or the hunter, whatever.
What is he, Mongolian? Kazakhstan.
Kazakhstan, yeah. And they're nasty, dude.
We're uncultured as hell in this studio.
We are, dude.
Yeah, the geography in this studio knowledge is really trouble.
No,
Honestly-
I'll take you in any geography test.
I know it's just because of wrestling, My wrestling coach was.
I know because of
like,
Borat. That's where Borat's from.
Yeah, Kazakhstan. I heard they have a transportation issue out there, but he's been training hard. I mean, look at that. -650. That's got to be the biggest one on the.
So I'll take Shavkat. I'll
Yeah,
take it for
I'm
400.
not betting on that. No way.
Okay.
Not giving you money.
Let's move on. We
dude.
gotta get to these next two. We're getting close here.
Title fight, flyweight.
I never heard of her. Next.
Oh, well, hold on. this is a rematch. They fought before. They're the champs. The only thing, I think it's going to be similar. Like, Brandon Royval is, like, fun to watch. He's got striking. Doesn't use his length. Pantoja, he's got some power, but, he's, like, just a better grappler. I think Pantoja gets on top while Royval tries to do all, the jiu-jitsu, like, off his back, heel hooks, and he just tries to almost like Diaz brother. Pantoja's, like, ugly on his feet, but he'll just take him down, kind of weather the storm. I think that's probably the closest favorite that you would probably want to.
I actually don't watch any fights where the man is under 145.
Yeah, then look at that. What a casual.
These are 125.
He doesn't even know what we're talking about. He's like,
I'm not joking. Those two could give each other a piggyback ride and they'd weigh the same as me. They count on the scale. I'm not watching a 125er. I'm telling you right now, we're going to be at the fights.
You're going to be going to get food.
This is intermission for me.
Yeah,
I'm going to go get some food for this one. No,
all right, next
I'll tell you right now, no interest.
No interest. All right. I can tell you glazed over. And the main event,
Leon
Covington
Colby.
Edwards.
Dude, that's going to be a rough one, but I think it's going to be a rough one for Colby. I think his ship has sailed. He hasn't fought in a while, and Leon is just such a great striker.
Like early on with the odds being like 2-1, I was like, Colby plus 200, not bad. But now that they're closer, and I've been thinking about it more, I'm like, look, Colby's 3 years older, hasn't fought. He doesn't bring anything new to Leon. What, he's going to wrestle you? Leon knows that.
Well, the thing is, Colby got whooped up he fought Kamaru, didn't he?
Yeah.
He got whooped up, and he's got...
One of them was close, though. The one he got whooped up. The second one was close. Yeah.
Broke his jaw.
Yeah. And then, look, fought Masvidal. No offense, but Masvidal's...
Washed.
He's a what do you call it? Like a gimmick fight. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I don't know. He's a great striker.
But still, at that point in his career in 2022, he's a gimmick fight.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, just because of that.
Honestly, I think Leon's got him. I mean,
yeah.
Leon's a great striker, but I was going to say, what's his grappling like? But he didn't have a problem against Kamaru. And I'd say, excuse me. I'd say Kamaru's probably one of the best grapplers. I mean, we saw what he did against Hamzat on 4 days' notice.
Exactly. And I think Colby is more forward pressure. But the problem is, I think Leon knows that. Leon knows how to deal with it. Leon's going to be comfortable. He's the champ.
Plus, there were rumors a while back about Colby being injured.
Yeah, which, we have Bilal's there. You know that, right? Bilal's there as a backup. And you're almost like, Bilal's known about it for a long time.
Bilal came out on Twitter and said, he's injured. Go ask him.
Yeah. And maybe he's just talking shit because Bilal does talk a lot of shit, which we're going to get him on the show in the new year. And
yeah, we got Bilal scheduled.
Yeah, he's on schedule. And, I would love to see Bilal. I think this card is dope. It's a lot of the old versus the new. So you're kind of like, you might see one of your old guys maybe get an upset. So it's kind of like the pick'ems kind of suck,
You think we have any? So I got to be there when Cowboy retired. You think either Steven or Tony retire this fight?
I don't think Tony's going to ever fight,
Tony needs to retire.
And I think Steven should retire for sure. I mean, 40 years old, but if he still keeps popping out wins, you're like, what? How can you tell him?
Okay, who are you taking on this one? You taking Colby?
No.
Okay.
I was for the longest time kind of thinking Colby,
What do I give you odds? I'll say $100, 3-1.
I'll take 3-1.
3-1.
Colby, 3-1.
So if Leon wins, you get you pay me 100. If Colby wins, I pay you 300.
4-1.
No, shut your mouth. I just gave you 3-1.
350.
No.
All right, 300.
All right, bet.
That's a good one. And then you got to pay me there so I can triple it in Vegas.
You'll lose it immediately.
Yeah, I'll lose it immediately.
Ramsey plays with 50-cent slots.
Yeah, they keep me going all night,
Gets you the drinks. All right, well, next week or this Friday, I'm driving down to Vegas. Money's a little tight these days.
Yeah.
But
I'm flying, bro.
Yeah, my guy's flying first class Spirit Airlines.
Yeah, Spirit Airlines.
Hell yeah, the Greyhound of the skies.
Yeah.
But we got some good stuff coming up this next week. We've got our predictions in. Let's go out there and get the fights. Thanks, guys, for watching this week of Coaching the Casual. Coming up this next week is UFC 296. We're going to be going live a lot. Tune in. We're going to be going live with a lot of the fighters, but we're really excited for this upcoming week. Tune in. Thanks for tuning into The Coach and the Casual. Make sure to subscribe on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify, and share it with your friends. Thanks again.